So, ran across a guy last night. Said he had 9k overpower damage. Uh, I was really confused by this because I looked at all of his gear and none of it added up. None of it made sense. So I sat there with him and tried to figure out what he was doing, where he was getting all this overpower from. So I'm like I'll start out with this. I'm not an overpower build. I'm not a blood build. I tried to figure out where his power was coming from. This aspect right here, sacrifice your bonuses. This does help exponentially. Because at one point I was like, hey, turn your sacrifice bonuses to something else and, swap that gear piece out. He says he lost 4,000. I'm at 4,588 with it on. I don't really have much overpower damage, if any, like the Banished Lord's Talisman. It's minimal amount, 92%. You know, we got the hair, the shroud, a couple normal pieces, and these don't have, none of these have overpower damage. I think I sacrificed the ring that I put blood overpower damage on, but when I checked, I made a piece with blood overpower damage, and it made absolutely no difference to the amount of overpower damage that was showing here on my stats. Made no difference. So, I sat there and checked for like 2 hours on where this power was coming from. So, it came to the point to where I disassembled a chunk of my board and went to what's this board called? Bloodbath, and deals 70% increased overpower damage. Alright, so something is bugged with this board for overpower damage. Essentially, it's not showing the right multiplicative, or I just, maybe I'm not understanding it. I mean, 70% times, and then even these little ones, they're doing minimal. I'm still working on getting um, my glyphs worked out, so I should be able to increase it more. But so far, like, oh, I don't want to remove all of it. Just taking those two off, it drops my overpower damage by damn near 1,000, which doesn't rightfully make a whole lot of sense, with those off. 114. Put them back on. 343. 343. This is only 140. But none of that adds up to what's actually happening to the amount. Like, that's 1,000 for that 343. And then throw this on. It adds, a few more hundred, which, I mean, it's whatever, I don't have any bonus overpower damage on this, so I am actually losing some. Besides, there's the 30%. Oh, well, with the aspect of what's it called? Sacrificial. It's only mine's only 69% on the amulet. That's not max. I had one on a ring. I think I scrapped that. which when I threw that ring on, it put it a little over 5,000. Yeah, scrap that ring. Done enough research. I mean, I know this is a little late in the season, but even without a full send blood build, I'm doing a lot of damage with what I have so far. Like, I think I'm doing a bone spirit build right now. You know, just like my own little uh, contraption of nonsense. Corpse explosion, blight, cursed from an aspect, corpse tendril. Of course, everybody runs necro. Bone spirit's like the main thing. That's the damage outpusher. Soul rift, ossified. I was running this, but it just doesn't seem to quite cut the damage. So yeah, I was only pushing about 200 mil on average, like 100 to 150 ish. And then I came across this dude. You want to get your memento mori up there as well, for the sacrificial bonus. The bone spirit's mainly where it's at. I could run to Kyovashad and show you a little bit of the damage. But the main thing I want to get to here is there's a bug with the blood sacrifice board. Like, you don't really need to run blood builds, but I mean, I'm sure with a blood build and all this overpower damage, it would greatly, I mean, if you're running a blood build, you're going to have this board on, but even for people that don't run blood builds, here, let me multiple elite. I mean, I average around 2 to 300 in the training, on elite dummies. With Soul Rift activated, I should say. Yeah, I'm seeing anywhere between 2 to 400. But I have seen up to 700 million, like 750. So, if you're running an overpower build, this board is essential. And if you're not running an overpower build, I mean, I would still suggest using this board, and I'm working on getting the rare one because this one's 140 compared to the two magic nodes that are only 35 base. This doesn't exactly make sense, but this is Diablo 4 math every season since the game came out. This is Diablo 4 math. When they originally released the shadow damage board, that multiplicative was not correspondent to its actual output. So I don't know, if this is known, but it is very worth checking into if you are doing a necromancer. I mean, I'm pretty sure I said this. I know this is close to the end of the season, but I mean, hey, uh, you want to try it out? Go ahead and try it out. But overpower damage seems to be doing a lot. And get all my buffs up and going. Like I hit 130,000 attack power. And that's with not using the best glyph for the situation. And I seem to be having an issue with the bone spirit proccing properly between the hair and Harlequin's crest. Like if I use the Harlequin, I could sit here and spam it. You know, something to do with the cooldown, but when you crit rate or when you crit with the bone spirit, it's supposed to take away a bunch of the time. You know, so that part I'm not really 100% understanding. If bone spirit critically strikes, it is cooled down. Its cooldown is reduced by 7 seconds. My cooldown is 7.35 with the Harlequin crest on. And I'll put the hair back on. Hair, whatever. 10.35. I mean, it's, it's the same rank. Like, oh yeah, the cooldown. The cooldown. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, so I need to attach something else with more cooldown to be able to spam it more because even with the um what is it the curse proc abhorrent decrepify, it's not continuously working. This is kind of why I have the minions, the warrior minions, to help with increasing the hits. You know, plus the auto curse. I mean, I'm sure I could replace, say, Blight with Decrepify. It might suit better, but at the same time, having your minions and Blight, for a time ticker, that should help significantly with your cooldowns when running the curse cooldown. But yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to show. The Paragon board. Because it does not show this on the stats. Like, I could take all this off. I could dismantle this Paragon board and I'd be down to 1,000. Yeah, I might as well, just shits and giggles show, yeah. Yeah, overpower 1,386 compared to 4,588. So I hope this helps you because I know that there's a large imbalance of classes compared to the Spiritborn. Like I've heard so many complaints about every other class besides The Spiritborn just not quite cutting it towards doing end game stuff like getting past dungeons level 70 to 75. I struggle in there still. Um, but I mean, I can beat those. It's a little bit of a struggle still. So I'm hoping I can, maybe work out this rare glyph. If you have any suggestions, leave a comment. But as of right now, I just kind of wanted to spread this out there. The season's almost over. If they patch this, whatever. There's going to be something new next season. So, if you made it this far, thanks for watching.